Chat, I wanted to talk about something today, and I wanted to get it out of the way early. I wanted to talk about everything that we know about Slay the Spire 2 so far in terms of the hype around its release. Obviously, if you've read the Niao's letters, then you know some of the cards in the game, you know some of the stuff that's going to be released in the game, you know what some of the art style is going to look like, you know that it's on Godot. But what do we actually know about when the game is going to be released and what the game is going to look like in a more macro sense? So let's talk about it, because I think I wanted to put everything that we know into one single place so that when people come in and ask me, what do you think about when Slay the Spire 2 is going to come out? When do you think it's going to come out? I can point them towards a video and be like, these are all the things that we know. And I think that you guys are going to be very happy because I think we're going to know. I think we're going to have an announcement very soon, and we're going to get to that. But to start, just to recap, this was the first tweet that Slay the Spire 2, that Mega Crit tweeted out. After their trailer, that was, our next project is Slay the Spire 2, and it's coming to early access in 2025. And people still ask me, I literally got a message 10 minutes ago from somebody resubbing. They said, do you think the Slay the Spire 2 is still going to come out in 2025? Yeah. But there's more to that. There's much more to that. Not only is it going to be coming out in 2025, but in an old Niao's letter that was back in May, the May 2025 Niao's letter, they even said in a question, will it be released in December? The answer to that was no. And if it's going to be released in 2025 and not December, okay, that tells us something, right? That tells us that it's not going to be released in 2025, or it's not going to be released in late 2025, and so we're going to get it before then. And then I swindled the devs. Swindled him with my charm and love and handsomeness, and I got the leak that it's going to be released on a Thursday, which actually narrows it down a lot more than we think, mainly because they also said that it's not going to be on 9/11, that there's a Thursday that's the day before Halloween, probably not going to be then. So every single Thursday going forward from the day that we heard that, it's basically a 7% chance that slowly gets better and better and better as we knock off every single Thursday. But that really doesn't feel like a lot, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, although I got that it's going to be released on a Thursday, that could still mean that it's the furthest Thursday away, right? And that sucks. What in the chat if when I came out with that news, that was the response that you had, was like, damn, I'm glad that we know more, but it sucks because it doesn't give us a range of when it's going to be, because it's not about knowing when it's going to be released per se. We want to know how long until the game, right? It would be better if I said it's not going to release for another 2 months, because then you know, okay, we have 2 months until it's going to happen, right? That leads me to the next point. A lot of people were disappointed in the Niao's letter that came out this past week, because they felt that as we were getting closer and closer to Slay the Spire 2, maybe they would get a little bit more hinty and teasy and a little bit more pushy, or a little bit more info dumpy about Slay the Spire 2 and when it's going to come out. And people were honestly disappointed. In the Discord and in the Reddit, people were just like, nah, kind of didn't really give us a lot. And MegaCrit saw that, and they know that. And it's not just because they didn't give as much as they've given in previous Niao's letter. It's that because we're getting so close to the end of the year, that people are starting to get a little bit more hungry, right? They want more. So not only, it's like if every single month we were given a full rotisserie chicken from Costco for $5. And then in the month of July and then into August, we were like, we're hungry for maybe 1.5 rotisserie chickens. And then MegaCrit said, here's 3/4 of a rotisserie chicken, right? Like we're getting hungrier. And then they gave us a little bit less than they normally do. So it's like, feels like a little bad. And they saw that. And so somebody on Twitter asked, or they just said, patiently waiting on the release date. That's all they said. They just said, patiently waiting on the release date in response to the Niao's letter being tweeted out. To which MegaCrit said, news on this shall actually come soon. What the fucking shit? Excuse me? To which I screenshotted this and I put it out on my socials, and namely, the one that people saw is going to be the YouTube post, right? I posted about it on YouTube, just saying, holy shit, it's fucking happening. To which Demi, who is a community manager in the Slay the Spire Discord, put out this was somebody posting my YouTube post, and they responded to it with, also other people have mentioned this, but for clarity, this means that news is coming soon. Just wanted to make sure people are aware that we're aware everyone is chomping at the bit right now. So they're clarifying that news on the game is going to be coming soon, not necessarily the game. But I think that's what people want. Again, if they come out with a release date for early access, I think that there's going to be no hate as long as it's within 2025. And I think it's going to be. But I think as long as they give us a date during 2025, I think as soon as they give us a date, I think all of the fiending, all of the headache is gonna go away. And so there's some speculation, as you can see at the tabs at the top of my screen. Gamescom is literally starting in 2 days. Gamescom could be a place that you might want to talk about something, right? Gamescom could be a good one. Is a place that you could release a trailer for something or talk about a release date. And then PAX West. Maybe not a place that you release a big trailer, but maybe have an early playtest. I don't know. But the only reason that I bring up PAX West is because Casey, one of the two developers of Slay the Spire 1 and one of the developers of Slay the Spire 2 and Megacrit, said, I will be at PAX West this year. Coincidence? I don't know. I'm just out here fucking spitballing about the things that we know. And the things that we know get us a little bit conspiracy pilled. Ones in chat if you love a good conspiracy theory. And also don't believe in the efficacy of vaccines. Oop, caught. Shit, caught. Everybody type of 1. Look at him. Look at him. Shit, got him. And so that's what we know about the release. I think they're going to talk about something very, very soon. There's a couple of key events that are coming up. That's what we know about the release date. I think that these little tiny tidbits are meaning something in the greater sense, because these tidbits are for us. These tidbits are for us that are fiending for shit, right? These little crumbs to eat on, they're for us to just. So I think I'm going to be very much paying attention to Gamescom, and I'm going to be marathon streaming this entire week starting on Wednesday. So if anything comes out, you spam the shit out of it in my chat, and then we're going to go fiend on it. We're going to watch it. But there was one other thing in the Discord that I think was really, really interesting that tells us a little bit of something about the game that is going to make people very excited. And this was again from Demi just a few minutes before this, popping in to say that Slay the Spire 2 will definitely have more content and visual polish at early access launch than Slay the Spire 1 does now in its final form. That's insane. That is fucking insane. More content in their early access. And remember, in early access for Slay the Spire 1, they didn't have all the characters out. They didn't have all the cards out. They didn't have all the events out. So if they're mirroring that with Slay the Spire 2, they're going to be releasing extra characters. There's going to be releasing more stuff. Maybe in Act 4. Who knows? Maybe more ascensions. Who fucking knows? We just know that they're cooking, and they are cooking hard. And people want this game. Right now, Google Trends, Slay the Spire has never been a less talked about game in terms of people looking it up and wanting Slay the Spire, because they're wanting Slay the Spire 2. And you can prove that by Slay the Spire 2 being number 10 most wishlisted game on Steam. Obviously, Hollow Knight's gonna be number 1. We got Subnautica 2. We got Borderlands 4. We got Light No Fire, which is Hello Games, aka No Man's Sky, Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders. These big fucking players. These big players in the game. For Slay the Spire 2 to be up here with some of these beasts, some of these titans. And if you don't remember, this was December of 2024. This was almost a year ago. They topped 1 million wish lists on Steam for Slay the Spire 2. Almost a year ago. They had over 1 million people wish list the game. So you extrapolate that to how many people are actually wanting the game. Because one in the chat, if you love games and you want games, but you never fucking touch the wish list feature. I never once have in my entire goddamn life. I never have. I don't really know what it does. I just know that it keeps a list somewhere. Does it remind you when a game comes out? I don't know. Is it helpful? Probably. Should I get into it? I don't know. I just don't like Steam. Steam's really confusing to me. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. It's like Linux, okay? It's for real computer nerds, and I'm just a guy on the outside that's wanting something easier. Maybe we do Epic Games. I don't know. Either way, I think that people are fiending for this game. I'm excited for when this game comes out eventually. I am like... I'm fiending for every single thing, but I just wanted to put a what we know in a singular spot so that we're going to probably upload this on the second channel, the second YouTube channel, so that when people ask me what my opinions are, what everything is, I can point them towards that video. And then hopefully when anything else comes out, we can talk about it. It's the equivalent of Christmas Day. Hello, Multi-Brad. Multi-Brad, can I talk about it? Multi-Brad, can I put a little tidbit in here? Can I do it? Can I throw it in? You most certainly can. Multi-Brad hit me up with the idea about doing a Slay the Spire Jeopardy. And I said, okay, that'd be dope. But I also want to make a Jeopardy, and then you do me and I do you. So it's like a mutual doing. It's like we 69 on stream. You know what I'm saying? So me and Multi-Brad are going to be doing some content here pretty soon after the Risk of Rain 2 marathon. Get excited for that. And to finalize everything for the Slay the Spire 2, I think we should play. I'm gonna be like Hank Hill. Or I'm gonna be like Hank Green, and I'm gonna play the Slay the Spire Connections at the end of this. Yeah, it's a slightly different Hank. One of them is definitely more intelligent than the other. Am I gonna try to do reverse order? I don't know if Mega Crit does the purples and the like if they really try with that. But all right, I've been told that this one's really hard. No help, please. If you see people trying to help, shun them. And don't forget, you can give 5 gifted subs or 2,000 bits to ban them. All right, I'm locking in. Pure Water gives you energy. Gremlin Visage is a mask. Mutagenic Strength. Wait, these two kind of go together, right? Because isn't this given to you by a gremlin? I can't remember. But isn't this like what they give to Gremlinob, essentially? I don't know. Feed gives you more max HP. Fruit Juice gives you more max HP. These are all on kill effects. Wait, this is just easy, right? What the hell? How is this hard? Those are just fatal effects. Goldeneye is Scry. Goldeneye, Golden Idol. These are all event relics here. This is an event relic. Any other event relics? Does Goldeneye trigger at the beginning of your turn? No, Goldeneye is the one where if you scry more, right? Wait, Duality and Rage kind of go together. Your attacks give you block. Ornamental Fan, your attacks give you block. Wait, what? All 3 of those, your attacks give you block. I looked over at chat and I saw somebody shunning a helper. Thank you. Keep it up, chat. You're doing God's work. I mean, these are just straight up Watcher relics, but I don't think it's that easy, right? Like, what would be the 4th one here? This just feels like it works. Come on. Come on. There's got to be something here, man. Give me a couple of shuffles. I don't like that one. This one's good. Mutagenic Strength is turn 1. This is turn 1. This is turn 1. This does something on turn 1. Oh. Ah. I mean, it can't be like those, right? Okay, that's not even 1 away. The fact that that's not even 1 away, I just need to get off that train. Okay. Okay. So this is 1 away. This is 1 away. It has to do with something that they're doing in the game. What else triggers on turn 1? I guess Ice Cream technically does. Legit, this one's fucking hard. Yeah, dude, I'm like, I don't know which one I wouldn't count here. Is it the fact that they give you like a negative, they give you a debuff on? Is that what it is? Is it they have a debuff added to it? So Duality also gives you a debuff. Okay. Nice. You want to retain this. Golden Idol can be traded for something. This is traded to get.
I know the answer, Frost, and it is. Ah, shit, the fuzz are here.
How's the fuzz Spider-Man? You think Spider-Man's a cop?
And that is what happens to helpers.
That's what the plot of the third Andrew Garfield movie would be. Probably the plot of the 3rd Garfield movie, maybe. You don't want to use this right away. This is every 3 attacks gives you 4 block. This is on a multiple of 3. This is on a multiple of 3. Wait, GoldenEye is a game. FTL is a game. Rage is probably a game, right? Wait, Golden Idol was the recent whatever you call it game. Okay, before we click this, what do these have in common? Things you would get on the beach. God, I'm good.
He's an arsonist on a noble quest to escape the wrath of the IRS. He's got conflicting positions in the endless fight for queer folks and